And Big Brother host Sonia Kruger joins us now. Hi.
Good morning.
This is the most dramatic episode ever.
It is.
So they were already technically in lockdown, and then they went into super lockdown. Was it a bit scary in there?
Well, it was. It was for everybody at that time. You know, things were happening so quickly on the outside, and I think when we got to about 100 cases, the decision was made to let the housemates know that there was a global pandemic that had, that was forming. It was a fluid situation. We'd keep them informed. I think they thought we were joking. It was all part of the game to start with. But then gradually, as things, increased on the outside, 300 plus cases, we went back in, spoke to them again about what was being shut down. I think the Formula One at that point had stopped. So they were getting really concerned by this point. And then once we got to 1,000 cases and one of our crew members had a brush with the virus, the game shut down. And that I don't think has ever happened anywhere in the world.
Wow, because I would have thought originally that it was just Big Brother playing a trick on them, but once it sunk in, did any of them want to leave? Were they concerned for their families, or did they want information about them?
They did. Most of them were quite happy because they knew that they were in a very safe place, but they were concerned about their families on the outside. One in particular, Sophie's mother and her sister live in Amsterdam. They live in the Netherlands, and that, of course, was being hit very hard by the virus. So she was particularly concerned. Dan's girlfriend, Anna, was travelling in the States at the time. He was really worried about her getting back. So what you'll see in this episode is that we actually let them speak to those loved ones on the outside. And it's really like witnessing a moment in history, because these people have had no real exposure to what's been going on. We've all been in that news cycle. We've seen it non-stop, covered 24/7. They haven't seen any of that. So for them to have those conversations with their loved ones on the outside, it's really compelling to see.
Because there was a fair bit of panic in the real world, and of course, I can't imagine once they knew it was actually happening. I mean, we would all go to our phones, we were getting a constant feed of information.
Yes.
So what level of info did you and the producers tell them about when we were all watching it 24/7?
Well, we tried to keep them as up to date as possible as to what was going on, but there were a lot of interesting things that were happening at the time. Like, I remember talking to them about the brawl that happened at Chilora Shopping Centre between the women and the toilet paper, and they couldn't believe it. And I said, no, there are police.
We all couldn't believe it.
We couldn't believe it. None of us could believe it.
They'd spent weeks scheming against each other, but then couldn't believe there was a brawl at a shopping centre over toilet paper.
And you know what? And they had plenty of toilet paper. If anything, we were trying to steal toilet paper off them. But things like the football being shut down, the boys were just horrified when they heard that. They couldn't believe that the NRL and the AFL had just stopped, had been suspended. And when I was saying to them, look, there are police stationed outside shopping centres to make sure that people are, not hoarding certain items. To them, I could see their brains ticking over, and they were really struggling to actually process that information.
It was a weird time, wasn't it?
It is, and I think now it's all back in the news again. We're seeing what's happening in Victoria, and so it makes this episode on Sunday night even more compelling, I think.
Yep. Absolutely.
Well, it's nice to see you.
Nice to see you too. And before I go, Sam, Big Brother's gone to New Zealand, so we're international.
Yes.
I did an interview, and the first thing they said to me was, congratulations on your engagement.
Oh, thank you, New Zealand.
I think we're the same person.
Oh, they said that to you? Oh, well, I'll take that. That's a compliment. Did you get your hands off Rich?
Show me the ring. Show me. Oh, no.
Oh, yes, it's lovely, isn't it? Let's not zoom in again. Sonia, it's lovely to see you.
You too.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Now, don't miss Big Brother, the shutdown, I should say, Sunday at 7 p.m. right here on 7.